Hey everybody, it is December 19th, 2008. I'm Sonic Suns. I'm an American. It's one little fact about myself I've mentioned. And there's a certain love for pride in America, but my country's not perfect. In fact, I think we've committed grave crimes at various times in history. And hey, what country hasn't, I suppose? Still a grim thing to note. And all more difficult to examine flaws in yourself than flaws in others, right? Flaws in your own country rather than others. World War II, we fought a very despicable enemy. We've all heard of what the Nazis did, their concentration camps and such in Germany. Furthermore, the Japanese committed their own atrocities in the Pacific Theater and such. World War II is often held up as a great example of a war that needed to be fought. If any war needed it, this was it. This is as much as you can get in history, or recent history anyway, good guys versus bad guys. But of course, things are always still messy. Germans had their concentration camps. We had our Japanese internment camps, which granted, we didn't set out to exterminate every last Japanese person on the planet, the way the Nazis set off to exterminate every single Jew. But, we did put people into, essentially prison. That's what an internment camp is. Okay, you go to this camp now, stay there, because you're Japanese, and apparently we Americans are just too stupid to realize someone of Japanese descent might possibly be sympathetic to us. Oh my gosh. Then came the end of the war, which, and thank goodness that it ended, and with the victors that it had. I'm certainly glad Hitler didn't take over or anything like that. August 6th, 1945. First atomic bomb is dropped in warfare on Hiroshima. 3 days later, Nagasaki. Between the two of them, over 200,000 people killed. And the vast majority of those people, civilians. Both sites had some military importance. Both sites had a lot of civilians in them. I've been told before, it was a good, bold stroke by America, sort of. It ended the war, and furthermore, for all the people we killed, more were saved. Had there been an invasion, more people would have died. Which itself should be considered as a condemnation of the realities of war. You're telling me that many civilians would have died, or more, had we invaded? Gee, you think we could find a way of invading and attacking their military forces? I mean, there's things in the thick of combat where someone jumps up, you think he's, working for the other side, you shoot him, and oh crap, he was a civilian, but it was an accident. Hiroshima and Nagasaki, we killed civilians on purpose. I mean, like, there were military targets to the thing, and their general, idea to ending the war and everything. Like, we dropped the bomb with absolute knowledge that the majority of the deaths would be civilians. I mean, there are, like, some, school-age kids we're killing here, There's... Heck, there are some Japanese-American citizens that got killed. Was it really necessary? I'm not the only one who's ever, questioned that. There's a certain Mr. Eisenhower, you heard of him, and MacArthur both said it was military unnecessary. Japan was already, looking for peace. They were looking for a conditional surrender, wherein, they got to maintain some power or whatever, and we eventually got them in an unconditional surrender. We got to straighten things out as much as, we wanted to. Which, by the way, I'm kind of amazed that we're on good terms with Japan these days. You'd figure the killing of that many people so indiscriminately would really sting. I don't know, maybe the Marshall Plan or stuff helped to reset things, give us some goodwill around the world. I don't know. So here's my question, Did we commit war crimes? I mean, when you intentionally kill civilians, if that's not a war crime, I'm not sure what is. Now, I'll tell you something. My grandfather was in the Pacific Theater. He would have eventually, been part of the invasion force. Quite possibly, I wouldn't be here today had it not been for those bombings, but... It still feels like a dark day in our history. Could we have dropped the bomb someplace else? Could we, designate some wide open field somewhere and say, hey, we're going to drop the bomb on that area, boom, and then, give them a couple days to look at it and get their wits together and go, oh, crap. Could we at least have made a statement of regret? When we issued a declaration, saying surrender now or you'll be destroyed, but we didn't mention the bombs, could we have said immediately before or after or something, we're sorry we killed off innocent civilians? And some people say, oh no, total war, you're allowed to do that now. No distinction made or something. We've got to make distinctions at some point. War is hell as it is. You've got to try and save the civilians. We could have tried a couple things. Bombing just a military target, for instance. Or that open field I mentioned, or something. It doesn't feel right. But then again, I guess that's what war is. It never feels right, because fundamentally it's not right. If we humans were better people, we wouldn't have all these wars in the first place. Maybe we can learn from our mistakes. I don't know. Thanks for watching. See you later.